the process of fully accepting and learning to embrace yourself and to eventually get to being the most fulfilled version of yourself can have a lot of friction points, or they can be a lot of friction points along that process. One of the friction points that I think is that I have to remind myself, and sometimes I think other people, is that it's okay to not be liked by everyone. And no one very outright admits that they do things to people please or that they care about other people's opinions, but their social interactions, the things that they do on a daily basis, don't 100% say the same thing. For example, I used to kind of fake laugh at people's jokes or whatever they say, and I think that was a form of doing things so that I'm in another person's good grace, so that they perceive me another way. Another small thing, well, it's not even small, a lot of people talk about this one, especially black people, is code switching. People go to corporate America, whatever their job is, and they get the code switch and they talk different to X, Y, and Z. And I think that's a form of not fully being yourself so that you will be accepted by other people. And I'm not saying that these things should never happen or anything like that, but I think that people should at the least be aware of the amount of, I'm gonna just call it people-pleasing behaviors, at least be aware of it, and to minimize how much they do these behaviors, for it is limiting themselves. And I think in the long run, this is more detrimental to yourself as opposed to the consequences of just being yourself. I think the biggest thing with fully being yourself, saying all your opinions, not code switching, not fake laughing, is that it weeds out people that you're not gonna genuinely connect with. It ruins genuine connections. It ruins what's real. If a relationship is built on a facade or a fake version of yourself, how real can it be? How deep will you be able to feel for this person or this relationship if there are so many false barriers that are in the way? How much can you know and love yourself if you are constantly acting as someone else at the same time? Sometimes these behaviors that people do are not even things to be liked, or more so things to not be disliked. And obviously there are reasons for this. I'm not saying, once again, that you should go and just fucking have a complete disregard for another person and how they may feel or react towards something. I think minimizing how much you are changing yourself or adjusting to other people or situations is important. Once again, for you to be yourself. Especially, a lot of this YouTube channel is for creatives and people that are kind of on an individualization process. So just be aware of those things. So for example, me, I'm a very opinionated person, I think. I just have strong opinions about things. And I think a lot of these opinions, I can see where it can cause some friction points with other people. So in the past, I would just not talk about a lot of stuff at all. This guy's really quiet. And it's not that I'm so quiet, but you won't like what I got to say about X, Y, and Z, or about what you just did or what you just said, or how, you know what I'm saying? So I just wouldn't talk at all. But I think, once again, this was ruining the potential connection, or once again, if we're not meant to connect at all, then I'm wasting I don't want to say wasting my time, but I don't want to create an illusion. I don't want to deceive, or manipulate. At least minimize how much anything like that is happening. I think we all kind of play games or whatever, but to minimize that, to be as real as possible, to be as honest, is important. But once again, a lot of these things we're not aware of that we're doing. I wasn't really aware that I was participating in these people-pleasing tendencies when I wasn't speaking. I just didn't talk, and that's just what it was. I just was saying, I'm just quiet all the time. I'm trying to make sure you still like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't aware of this type of shit. So that's really all the video is. A lot of these videos I make, this is a random tangent. I'm gonna start doing tangents because I can, are for myself. They're notes for myself, and I'm just happening to share them with anything outside of my journal right here. So